for my, like, and this is kind of, like, I don't know, it's it's in my best interest to take care of myself, to understand how people think and what people are doing and what is the motivation behind people. It's not like I'm trying to find something. It's just that, like, I've been hurt in the past, or people have lied to me, and, like, I'm a person who really does not like to be lied to. I'd rather you just be upfront and honest with me, and then we can have, like, a conversation about it. Like, to anything. Like, friends, like, romantic relationship, family. Like, I'd rather you just be honest with me and communicate with me. Like, I'm very much, and people would say that that's confrontational, but I don't know. I feel like I'm so laid back sometimes that I'm like that's the only thing that would lead me towards being non-confrontational, is that most of the time, like, I don't care. But yeah, people come to me for relationship advice specifically so often, and I don't understand why they think an aro ace person who has never had a serious relationship is going to give them good advice. Apparently I give them great advice, though. Well, because we, as, you know, people with autism, can tell what's going on in those relationships, and what I said, the underlying intention of why that person is, like, doing the thing. It's just like me explaining that whole thing about, like, love is blind. It's like, I can see that from the get-go they're not gonna work out because she is, like, fundamentally not attracted to him. And guess what? She was not attracted to him, and she started saying shit to make an excuse so that she wouldn't look like a shallow person on camera, as, like, a reason to break up. Like, she would say, like, oh, well, he's not communicating enough or whatever, and then she'd, like, start crying, and it's like, well, he's communicating. You just, like, just admit it. Like, a part of me, I'm just like, just admit it. Just say it. Because I feel like we would be, like, better as a society if you just say it. Like, hey, I'm not attracted to you. Like, this isn't gonna work. Because then you save time on both sides. And I get that you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, but either way, that's what's going to happen, because you both invested in what you thought was going to be a good relationship. You know? But yeah, I'm usually that person too, where people come to me for, like, relationship advice, and I give that to them. For Wecker. Thank you for that. Thank you for the Hermfwesker. I wish I could pin it. If I could pin messages in my chat, I would. Be the #1 pinned chat message. But yeah. I've had the most autistic revealing of romantic interest happen to me a couple months ago, and it was fantastic. Such an efficient conversation. Yeah, like, just be efficient with your time. Like, I'm not gonna do this shit where you just, like, also, too, and I know that it's me, I get bored. I don't want to talk about the weather. I don't want to talk about, like, all these little things that, like, neurotypical, like, the small talk kind of subjects that neurotypical people talk about. Like, I'm kind of that person that is like, okay, what traumatized you? Why are you traumatized? Why do you do the things that you do? Like, I'm more interested in, like, the meaty topics. And that makes it hard because I also don't, like, most of the time when I talk to people, I'm like, okay, like, you want to be my friend, and that's why you're talking to me. And, like, sometimes it's hard for me to tell, like, why they're talking to me. Sometimes people don't even, like, want to be my friends, and they want me for, like, another reason, or they want me for, like, a networking purpose. And that's, like, the hard part, is being able to, like, distinguish. Also, why the fuck is this so ass long playing? I hate this. I want Attack on Titan. Give it to me. And so what ends up happening is I start to ask people questions, and I start to be the only person that asks questions. And that's the thing that, like, drives me nuts. And I think that people don't understand in terms of conversation, because I'll just think of something random, and I'll be like, hey, like, what's your favorite horror movie? What's this? Because, like, I'm trying to conform to that kind of like communication pattern. Also, we're popping these gens real fucking fast. When in reality, it's like, no, I want to get to know you as like a person to person, and I don't know how to approach people and explain that to them. That like, I'm not interested in talking about that. I would rather talk about this. Small talk is nonsense. I do have her like talking about the weather, but closer to a meteorology kind of way. Oh my god, cumulus clouds. Would you like to be a nerd with me and talk about the different kinds of clouds in the air? Like to me, that's not small talk. That's actually interesting because I'm learning something. Like, you are info dumping on me, and I love it. I love it when people info dump on me. And that's another thing. Like, people always say, like, I feel like I try to reach out and to communicate with people and to, like, play with people. But half the time, like, they're doing something, they got stuff that's, like, going on. But I feel like for some reason I never get asked. Because I'm so just like, oh, well, I'll just ask them if they want to play, if they want to do this, if they want to do that. But sometimes I get, like, tired of doing that, you know? It's nice once in a while to have a person be like, hey, like, I want to play with you. Like, I've missed you. Like, let's, just stop. Like, it's, you know, like, I miss you platonically in a way. And, like, I want to come and I want to hang out with you. But I feel like a lot of people in my life, they don't do that because I'm the person who always does that. Like, even with Jake. And, like, Jake is not the type of person to do that, like, at all. Like, I just know he is. I know him as a person. But I was like, I miss him. I want to play with him. Let me text him and ask if he wants to play Texas Chainsaw. And he would die if he heard me say that. If he heard me say that I miss him, he would die. He would cringe so hard. But yeah, I think it's hard nowadays to have a really stimulating conversation with someone. I rarely initiate a conversation. It's a problem for me. Well, cause like, and I don't know why, like, sometimes, and I know it's hard, and I know this might just be, like, my depression and whatever sort of thing. Sometimes I ask myself, I'm like, is it me? Like, am I the problem? I always try, like, if people come into my DMs, and they're not, like, and I know they're not trying to get over me in some way. I'm usually, like, really nice. Like, I will respond immediately. Like, you have my full attention to whatever it is. Like, I will tell you what's going on. And I'm just like, do people just not want to hang out with me? But, like, the weirdest thing is that, like, when I stream, then they come and they say hi. And I'm like, well, do you want to, like, hang out outside of stream sometimes? Or I'll talk to people and they'll be like, yeah, like, we should totally hang out. And then nothing. Like, just nothing. And it drives me nuts. And I don't know, maybe I'm just meeting, like, the wrong people and I need to go outside more and meet, like, the right people. But also, like, I'm autistic and it's hard. Reading social cues is so hard for me. One of my coworkers, I've literally been working with this coworker for, like, 2 years. And I literally started talking to him and getting used to talking to him and asking him questions about, like, oh, what are you doing after work and that kind of stuff. Not in a weird way, just, like, in a platonic way. Like, oh, are you going to the gym? And stuff like that. Kind of pulling him this way. I kind of want to try to get behind this Claudette so I can take a hit for her. Oh. Please run, I'm trying to take a hit for you. And yeah, I mean, like, this is also my internal dialogue, if you will. I go from being really silly, like a silly gal, and then I go into, like, really serious conversations. That's, I literally don't know the difference. He grabbed me, no, that's so sad. You know, I deserved it. I shouldn't have healed. I should have just left. It's whatever. I'll accept it. Accept my fate. They're not gonna be able to get me because they're all the way at the other gate. But yeah. Should I try to unhook myself? I don't know. Fuck, man. Oh shit. This Jonah. Oh my god, Jonah. I love you. I love you. I love you, Jonah. Oh. I'm so sorry, Jonah, but I'm leaving. I wanted to take a hit for him, but I don't think my endurance would have lasted. But yeah. I guess basically I'm advertising. You know, if you guys want to come talk to me, come talk to me. Especially if, like, you're on my friends list. You can come bother me whenever you want. I don't see, like, I am also, like, the weirdest thing is I don't like to bother people, but I don't think it's a bother when people want to come talk to me. For me, it's like you can't start a conversation without having a specific reason or topic to talk about. I got a weird brain block. No, like that actually makes so much sense because a lot of the times when I have a conversation, it's not Wesker time. Lamau. Pepega hands. Put a Pepega hands in the chat. Wecky. Wait, hold on. I couldn't have typed that anywhere. Oh my god. Wiki. Oh, I could have done this mission already. But that plays into the fact that, like, we are only interested in, like, our hyperfixation topics. And the thing is, too, like, I learned this stuff from watching Love on the Spectrum. Because because they have people on that show that are, like, that are less masking, or people that have, like, been diagnosed from a young age. And when they go to, like, these camps to learn, like, how to have conversations, because, like, the whole point is they're trying to have conversations on a date, because they want to find love, too, you know? And when they have those conversations, they're like, okay, like, you need to ask them back. Like, I know you want to talk about your hyperfixation, but you need to, like, ask them questions back about themselves. Which I thought was really interesting and actually helped me in me trying to, like, communicate with, like, my coworkers at work. And it's me as somebody who's a high masking individual. Because, like, and I started noticing that too. Like, if somebody starts a conversation with me, it leans into the topics of horror movies. Do you like horror movies? I like horror movies. Astrology. I'm a big astrology gal. I don't give a fuck. You can fuck off if you think astrology is fake. And actually, wait, speaking of astrology, did I ever tell you guys? There's this guy I was interested in. And God forbid how I didn't know that, like, I was autistic in, like, this moment. I literally sent him paragraph text because he asked me about astrology. He asked me about my hyperfixation. I sent him 5 fucking, like, brick text messages, long text messages about the planets and the different kinds of, like, harvest moons for the years. And he was like, and this is how I knew he was neurotypical. He was like, whoa, that's a lot of text. And he didn't even read it. He didn't even read any of it. But yeah, it goes into astrology. It goes into video games, because obviously, like, I'm a streamer, I like video games. If we're really close, then I'll talk about the fictional characters that I really like. For astrology, I'm at the point where I say I don't care if it's real or not, but it's fun to think about and look at. No, okay, wait. Here's information that, like I'm literally jumping in my seat to tell you about this. So, science, in relation to astrology, they're now confirming that you're still developing even after the age of, like, 25, when your frontal cortex is technically fully developed, that they wrote. But Saturn's what's called Saturn's return, Saturn's rotation, which is the planet of maturity, is 29.4 years. So you put those two things together, aka you are not fully mature until you're about like 30 years old, which is in astrology, it's in the science, it's in the planets. I'll kill him. Oh, thank you. I mean, the funny thing too is that he was like I'll never forget this. He was like, I still want to be friends with you, like, in a year's time from now. And you know what? It's a year's time, and I don't talk to him. I literally, it was just like, you, like, we have nothing in common. You don't want to talk to me. You don't want to, like, even be friends with me or, like, do things together, like, play video games together. So I was just like, okay, delete your phone number. Delete, blocked, I'm done. Also, corrupt intervention, yeah, that's why. But yeah, I tend to lean into those, like, I talk to people about their birth charts. I know how to read a fucking birth chart. I know how to figure out who's your fucking soulmate from your astrology chart. What can you do? No, but, like, actually I can do that. I learned how to do that. I'm a little bit, it's not gonna be perfect, but I can guesstimate what your ideal person is from, like, your actual birth chart, which is pretty fucking cool. I think it's fucking cool. I'm also into Myers-Briggs personalities. That also, and psychology. Because I studied psychology in school too. And I'm into true crime. So any variant of my hyperfixations. Yeah, pretty much it. We're gonna talk about this later. I have questions. Oh. Also, I just want to hear you talk about it. Yay! But you know, you have no idea how happy that makes me. Like, there's nothing better than, like, having a person that appreciates the shit that, like, you talk about. Oh, and speaking of which, I went off track. I went completely off track to what I was talking about. Because the whole point I was gonna say is, when I stream, this is like me. This is like my actual personality. I'm not masking at all when I stream. Mostly because, like, I don't feel like I'm being perceived, ironically enough, because I'm, you know, playing video games. I'm in my room. I'm talking to a microphone. So there's a lot less pressure for me to, like, mask. So this is actually me. And that's, like, one of the things that I really like about streaming. Because it reveals, like, my real personality. Also, I'm so sorry. I got sidetracked of talking and I got really excited that I didn't get you in time. I'm so fucking sorry. I'm gonna trade for you. And I'll go get the other unhook. I was raised by a woman with a psych major. My sister went to school for psych. I know more about than the average person, but less than somebody who went to school for it. Well, like, my minor was in psychology. Like, my actual degree was in environmental science. But what I was interested about the environment is why people do the things that they do. So why do people fuck over our environment? Like, what's the point? What's the point? That's what I wanted to figure out. And short answer, what I learned in my entire program is because people are assholes. That is the answer that I got. But I really, and also true, like, and maybe because also, you know, I have trauma. I don't want to say it like half the time I'm like, I'm being so fucking dramatic when I say that, but I actually do. And I have shit that I'm working out. And I like to make myself a better person. So I actively want to learn about how to make my mind better. I know that sounds so douchey. That's like a douchey thing to say. But it just plays it. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. But, like, I genuinely do think about these things. Like, I think, okay, like, how I feel in this situation is me. Like, that's a me problem that I need to solve. Like, in the instance where, you know, if I feel insecure about something, it's like, I know that's not that person's fault, and I'm not gonna be mad at that person. It's a me problem, you know? And I need to figure out why I feel that way. Which also, ironically enough, all this psychology stuff aligns with astrology, with like pseudoscience topics, like Reiki and stuff like that. They just call it shadow work. So being able to be self-aware is just shadow work. Which is so cool to me. It's so fucking cool. Like, I think that's fucking awesome. And I want to talk to people about it more. But God forbid. God forbid nobody else is interested in that topic but me. and maybe you, Rye Fred. Maybe you. Okay, I know this is bad and I shouldn't do this, but I'm on death hook. So, I'm gonna cure myself. I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm sorry in advance. But yeah, also, I'm really interested in personality, Myers-Briggs sort of stuff. I'm very proud of the fact I'm an IMFJ. I'm not gonna say the one thing. There's one thing. I guess I will say it, because I think it's funny. But I guess my type is like the second rarest. And then my sister is an INTJ. And hers is the rarest type of, like for women. Which I think is cool. INTP, and so is every fictional character I relate to. Really? The fictional characters that are the same personality type as me, half of them are fucking evil. Like Loki, which Loki from from Marvel is the same personality type as me. So is the evil guy in Hunter x Hunter, and the serial killer from Monster. Also, Will from Hannibal is an INFJ. Although, yeah, INTJ sometimes. I love INTJs. I love them. I think a majority of my online friends are INTPs, though. Ironically enough. Actually, no, that's a lie. Some of my friends are, some of them are feelers, like me. Although sometimes it doesn't really feel like I'm a feeler, you know? I think I'm very cerebral. Although, I guess I don't know. I like to think that I look at situations with the most logic as possible. Like, you can never be 100%. But I really do try to put, like, however I feel about things aside for the sake of, like, my friends and stuff like that. Which is a bad thing. Which is fucking... Also, yeah. I think Jesus, too, for some reason, is the same personality type as me. Which is weird. How do you know the personality type of fucking Jesus is the question. Is the real question. Oh, she's got red. She's red. She's got the boopy. The icky wickies. Oh, we 3-gened ourselves. That fucking sucks, man. Also, it's only 2 of us left. How have I just been talking out of my asshole and have survived this long? I thought I would have died already. Do you know about the Enneagram? You might like it. Is it like human design? Because I know my human design. And I think my human design profile is really interesting because it's 2-4, and they call it the hermit and the opportunist. So I like to isolate myself. That's basically what it is. And I'm like, not on purpose. It's not my fault. I like doing things on my own. Which also is another thing that I've been thinking about lately. Like, what does it mean to have, like, real confidence? And the reason why I've been thinking about this is because I had a conversation with Wyatt. And I asked him, I was like, how are you so confident? Like, when you talk to people and you can just be, like, this really friendly person. Like, how? How is that even possible? Because no matter how much I try to be friendly, people always think that there's something wrong with me, that there's something off about me. And I get it's like the uncanny valley thing where I'm not like the perfect neurotypical, so they think I'm weird because they know something is off about me, you know? I'm dead here. I'm so fucking dead. I'm exhausted too from the Jenny. Hello. Just take me. Just take me. And basically he was just like, oh, well, it's because I'm so confident in myself. And I'm like, but just being confident in yourself mean that you are secure in yourself. Because I feel like a lot of people mix those two things up. Because he says he's autistic. And I guess that's really a question. Well, I mean, we had the conversation about it, but... Because I would argue that... I don't know. I try. Ted Cruz? The Zodiac Killer? Oh my god.